Hey guys, it's Ralph, and welcome back to another episode of Danganronpa Another. The last episode, we unfortunately discovered the bodies of Yamaguchi and My Sweet Cinnamon Roll and Nori. In this episode, we're going to be investigating to see what happened to them and how it happened. Without any further delay, let's get right into the episode. So, obviously this blood spot probably where TSUGURI was on. Investigate it. The hell you get? Huh? What's this blood spot? Right next to me, it's Yamaguchi, whose blood goes all around the library. Not that strange that there could be a blood spot in the library falling, I tell you. But this blood spot looks kind of different. It's the only one. It's the only one away from Yamaguchi's corpse. This blood spot is. Hey Maito, what are you doing sitting on the floor? We're sitting right next to the blood. What the hell? Oh Haru, do you know where this blood stain came from? Yeah, that's where TSUGURI was. What are you talking about, Yuki? All right. That's where Kinjo fell. Is this the place you found him? Well, when we entered the library, Yamaguchi was there, as you can see it, and Kinjo was lying in that position and unconscious. You didn't know because you didn't see Kinjo here. That's right. I heard that Kinjo was stuck in the head and bleeding. But you mean he spilled this much blood? That was a joke. Well, Tori had to disinfect and bandage him, so it's okay for now. But at first, I thought he was really dead. Kinjo was lying in this position. Then, I can't imagine Kinjo knocked down someone else's head in the back. Why then how did the killer attack Kinjo and stun him? And if it's enough to make you bleed this much, why did they stop with only that? Yamaguchi and Nori were the only ones who were killed, even though there was an obvious malice behind it. The fact that the Black can kill up to 2 people since would add later as a rule. The criminal wouldn't know about this. If Kinjo wakes up, I should ask him. Well, time to look at Yamaguchi's corpse. Yamaguchi's corpse stretches loosely on the floor from the library. Contact to his sloppy body, it was droopy. The pupils were loose and he felt empty. This is a man's death. Seen many times already. Real people dying. Hey, there comes that funky soundtrack and hey! Yamaguchi, you were the only one who we talked to just yesterday. There's no time to be sad, even for Yamaguchi. We must find out who made him like this. I've decided to investigate Yamaguchi's body. I felt something hard and cold. According to the Makun file, it said that he was cut off by something sharp. The weapon's still here? Indeed, there was a terrible wound that I could see it with my eyes open. Yamaguchi's neck was completely cut off from the back neck to the front. It was surprising that it wasn't cut completely, but barely a piece of flesh was left attached. I put up with the nausea that came up and looked at the wound. I heard that the injured area reminiscently torn by something like a knife or tool. That's usually roughened. But in Yamaguchi's case, it was cut neatly, as if he were cutting paper with a cutter knife. Damn, what sharp object could this be? Ugh, I can't see anymore. So terrible. Poor Yamaguchi, spilling a lot of blood. Like Tomori. Huh? As my stomach was shaking tight, I suddenly felt uncomfortable. Surely blood in the library is no joke. It ran from the corridor to the body of Yamaguchi, and was also protruding from Yamaguchi's body. Yamaguchi's neck doesn't bleed anymore. Looking at the Makun file, it said that there were no other visible traumas other than the neck wound. Then, the tremendous amount of blood flows from the neck only. Yamaguchi's time of death is 8:40. From this wound, immediate death is certain, though even if the wound started bleeding from then, it had not even passed an hour, but why is the blood no longer flowing out from his throat? When I call the work of Nori, who's no longer here, it seemed that after the heart stopped, blood circulation also stops. If so, in this case, immediate death, the blood should flow even less. But isn't it too early? In a similar case, when I investigate Tomori's corpse, there's little blood coming out from her. However, in contrast, Yamaguchi's body looked very dry already. It's been less than an hour since blood has spilled, but the blood already dries up? I knew something was wrong, but there was no way to think about it, because there was no Inori or Kinjo who had a professional insight on these moments. Inori can't speak to us anymore, but Kinjo is still alive. I should ask him if he wakes up. Or anything like the back? Interesting, no. Okay, it's all right here. Do we need to go back to the file? No, right? Oh, well. Okay, what do you got, T. Tori? Killing two people at the same time? How heinous is this person, this killer? Of course it's not me, don't doubt it. What is TSUGURI? The huge blood trace from Yamaguchi's body to the library door. Was this all Yamaguchi's blood? There's nothing wrong with this. It's a terrible amount to look at, but I've seen a situation similar to this. It was dark back then. I couldn't see well. Tomori shed such tremendous amount of blood and died. However, there are more from Yamaguchi in terms of quantity, because this blood leads all the way to the corridor. There's also this. In Tomori's case, there were 2 wounds, one in the neck and the other in the stomach. It was also discovered several hours after death, but it was already bleeding. Within an hour after death, and no matter how deeply you're injured, can this amount of blood come out of your neck? Not only that, the shape of the blood is also a little strange. This shape looked as if the body of Yamaguchi was brought into the library from outside. I'll check this out for a bit. Huh? When I slightly lifted Yamaguchi's body and looked at the floor where he was lying down, I immediately felt a sense of discomfort. The corpse was brought from the outside, and there should be no blood under Yamaguchi's corpse. But that's what I say here. Blood spots are also all over Yamaguchi's body. Thanks to that, Yamaguchi's stomach and chest were wet with blood. The shape of the bleeding itself certainly feels like dragging the corpse to the floor from outside. If so, there can be no blood left under the corpse like this. No, before that. There was blood under the body. Means that there was blood here, before Yamaguchi fell. That right. However, Nori didn't really seem to bleed. Then this blood must be Yamaguchi's. I don't really know. I noticed something strange about the situation with the blood sea in the library and Yamaguchi's body. I'll mark it down and discuss it to the other— wait. Would the blood be like that if he really died like this? Oh! God damn, my super speed. There's something in the doorway. Okay, that's all. Is there anything, Akane? Damn. As soon as we revived her, strategy had to strike. Damn. Oh, Maeda. Akane, what are you doing? Is there something in the hallway? Well, that's not exactly right. Well, blood's still there. And as I keep looking at the body, I just get sick of it. Oh, that. Are you okay? You don't have to overdo it. God damn it, you have to overdo it. There's like way less people now. Everyone got pulled apart. Oh no, everyone's working hard. I can't be the exception. The class trial will start soon. It's alright. Why don't you answer a few questions for me, Akane? Oh, you want to ask me something? Yes, when Kurikawa, Ihara, and I went to investigate the 3rd floor. Would you like to tell me what happened on the 2nd floor at the time? Yeah, she should know from this at least. Almost at the same time the BDA rang, Kincho fainted. It's full of holes that my own eyes didn't see. Oh, okay, I can help in this. That's simple enough. But there's not much to tell. We, like Maeda, were shaken when we found the body. Then we started investigating. Okay. I don't know if this had anything to do with the case, Maeda-kun, but there's something I was a little confused about. Is it okay to say it? Say it! What do you mean? What were you withholding? Sure, what is it? Kanana-chan, you said you found her in the science lab, right? But I stopped by science lab just before nighttime yesterday too. However, at that time, the door was locked too. Huh? The door to the science lab was locked? Yes. You think it's related to the case? It's true. The door didn't even open when we found Nori's body. It was blocked with something like a clasp. Even so, she said the door was already closed before nighttime began yesterday? I think I'll take it for reference. Thank you, Akane. But was I helpful? I'm glad then. Oh, by the way, why did you go to the science lab just for nighttime yesterday? Oh, that? That was because last night I did a bit of mincemeat in it. What? I mean, what? When I tried to use the scissors on my wrists? Oh! Were those scissors in the science lab? Yes, I was insane back then. So I went to the science lab to pick up the scissors. Why did you just go to the kitchen with all the knives? I understand. I get it now. Thanks, Akane. Before nighttime yesterday, the science lab was already closed. What does that mean? I'll have to check it out. Ihara, is your body okay? Don't overdo it so much. No, it's not a deep wound, so do not mind it. By the way, have you seen the cell phone? Cell phone? You mean Maki's cell that we found on the 3rd floor? I thought Ihara was keeping it. Yeah, I always kept it in my top pocket because I didn't know when I would need it, but now I realize that the phone is gone. It disappeared? When's the last time Ihara checked for the cell phone? It was at least yesterday at night that I recall having it, but after fainting, it was gone. Then, that means the killer probably took it. That's a censure premonition, but I agree. However, the cell phone doesn't seem to be important right now. Because first we have to investigate. I wonder where that cell phone went. Oh, that's not an important hint? Okay. Honestly? Can we visit Kinjo? I can't skip on Kurikawa. Kurikawa, you came down to the 1st floor. Did you figure out something? What a little smirk. Kurikawa? Originally, Kurikawa was always to come out without words, but now it looks like she's cautious. It's because of the mood? I don't think she's open to talk for now, so I decided to leave it alone. So let's continue investigating. Where's Nurse's office? Right here? Oh no, well, let's not go gambling. Yeah, they really bandaged him up. What the? This refrigerator the plate that stored transfusion packs individually stored for each blood type. I was surprised when I opened the refrigerator. Huh? No way, we don't have any transfusion packs? There's no more than 20 transfusion packs left the last time I saw them. Who used a transfusion pack recently? No. Where would you even use a blood transfusion pack? Let's think for a moment. When did the packs disappear? I recall them being stored properly until I looked yesterday. When the fuck would you check? You're not the one working at the nurse's office, Maeda. That's Inori's job. How would you know? You didn't have to leave. What's it the killer's doing? But even the culprit is the one. Why did they need to take a transfusion pack? They even need fresh blood? With the fresh blood from... Yamaguchi's body? It's Kinjo who fainted. The other treated him here and put him in the infirmary bed. There's no way Kinjo would just finish here. When will you wake up? I'm in a lot of trouble without you. Well, I'm glad I went to the 1st floor. I checked the locker too. God damn, it's flooded. I inadvertently tried to walk towards the science lab, but I was surprised because the water from it was filling the corridor now. Water still leaking from the science lab? It won't matter if I go in, but from what my car warned me, before it gives me something to be cautious, I shouldn't step in this water. Hey, incompetent, get out the way, quickly, you're obstructing the traffic. Oh, Makaru, you came here, but this water... Are you still talking? Would you get out the way already? Makaru, you said we shouldn't touch the water a while ago. Why are you doing this? And if you are going there, wouldn't it be dangerous to enter there? It's fine to enter now, so feel free to go in. I've spoken to Makum earlier to put it away. Put it away? You'll know when you enter the science lab. Still, no one seems to be turning off the faucet. You guys really don't have a clue, do you? You don't even have Suguri anymore. Put what away? The faucet? For the love of God! Would you look directly with your own 2 eyes and sink in your head? At least, it would be nice if I could tell you everything, huh? I didn't even have to walk on water. We could have just walked in the pen. There's no point in being so irritating. Well, since Makaru said that, it's safe to walk in the water. I should be confident now. Like Makaru said, let's see what happens. Let's see what happened with my own eyes. Oh, yeah. Like I thought she was electrified. An object next to Nori's body. The Makuma Files 3-2, brought by that thing. Information about Nori should be written in it. Jesus, man! What the hell was that goddamn, like, reference? She got hurt all over. The victim is Katana Inori. The estimated time of death is about 8:30. Body was found in the science lab, charred and crisp. The cause of death is electric shock. The body internal organ had been burned to the wet body because of electric current for a long time while being bound. Terrible. Not a drop of blood was shed. And yet, this is the most terrible someone had done to a friend. Even to Nori, who's the smallest and weakest among us. The culprit behind this, it's fair to say, was in our duress to have to doubt another friend against will. But at this very moment, the undeniable anger that I felt had risen again. The perpetrator, who I do not know who they are yet, different from Yamaguchi, who is presumed to have killed by his neck with one blow. The Nori case was just a victim that was killed in front of our very eyes a few minutes ago. Single wall in between the door of the science lab, I heard her scream. Her pain, her cries, her agony, very clear. Can't help but feel this anger, but it won't make any difference. It's just a Monokuma file that gives me determination. I'll have to make use of this. But this alone is not enough information. What can be deducted as of now is time of death was 8:30, back 5 minutes earlier than Yamaguchi. Around that time, we couldn't open the science lab room. We were just outside the room. There's no problem with the time at least. But killing two people directly in 5 minutes? At that time, we were walking between the second and third floor. So we go back and forth between the areas, we would definitely stand out. How could the killer murder two people with only 5 minutes for each? Clean supplies? I think it's this. Oh! Perfect! That's what I wanted to get, the Monokuma coin. It's on the table in the science lab, and the faucet allowed you to throw away medicines or wash your hands during experiments. But now water pouring out of the faucet at maximum capacity and overflowing. Right. The reason why the science lab was flooded like this was because of the faucet. It's a huge waste of water, but now it's not the time to think about this. I heard we turned the faucet and the water stopped flowing. Well, there's no reason for water to fill anything now. Also, this must have been done by the killer too. But what's the reason? The reason to make the science lab a sea of water. Alright. And we are back. Sorry about that. But okay, where were we in the investigation? Oh yeah, we're gonna... I'm presuming this is the thing that's shocking Nori to death. Oh, this is... What the hell is that? Is that the phone? Even the water pool of the science lab, I saw something that I had seen somewhere before. It was Maki's mobile phone? Probably. The cell phone that Ihara discovered on the first day when the third floor was open. I haven't seen any other phones. The Maki's would be the only one left. Why is the cell phone in this place? I looked up at the sides wondering, but as soon as I saw the screen, I noticed that the phone was not in normal condition. Why is the screen like this? The phone screen was crumpled with a mixture of purple and pink. The clock was turned into a strange language rather than numbers. And the buttons weren't fit properly. To put it in a word, it's broken. Well, it's only natural because it was underwater. I couldn't hide my disappointment, hoping that I might be able to fix that phone and get in touch with the outside world later on. No, right now the class trial should be the main priority. Anyways, does this mean the mobile phone was used as some kind of tool for the incident related to this case? Thinking that way, I filled with the phone a little more. I noticed a small alarm indicator at the top of the screen. The alarm was set at 8:30, but now it's already off. Who set the alarm? Besides, at 8:30, this was just before we tried to open the science lab room door. As I pondered, it was very likely the phone was involved in the incident. It was not only that, there was another tool attached to the phone strap. Is that a taser? This is, if I'm not mistaken, this could be... The option connected to the telephone trap was something I've seen in cartoons and movies. An electric shocker? I think it was also called a stun gun. Why are these dangerous objects at school? No, it seems like they were in the storage of the storage of the science lab, but that's right. I understand what Makaru said. Probably get the sun gun with its power into the water pit. If I entered in that stage, there's a high chance that we would have gotten electrocuted too. But now it seems that it's not working. But also because Makaru told Makuma to put it away. More importantly than that, is that this is far from the crime scene. According to Makuma files, Nori's death was caused by electrocution. It was probably definitive that this was the most likely murder weapon. What reason does it have to be connected to the phone strap? Also, that's not the only weird thing. You think about this, if the weapon was a stun gun, it means the killer struck Inori with this object. But then, contradiction shows up, such as the locker room scenarios in the science lab, the crime that was done to Yamaguchi. Oh, locked room. No, there's nothing that suggests that the killer can only attack directly to their victim. Maybe making a science lab out of water like this was to prepare an efficient crime scene. If electricity goes on while you're immersed in water, you're in danger zone. The rest to figure out would be how the killer made the water to energize and what method did they use. I'll have to speak about this with the others. God, I gotta investigate Cinnamon Roll's body. You didn't follow me, did you? I'm right here. At least you, oh, that's what you mean. At least you listened when you came in here. You know now. The reason why I told you not to touch water and why this place became a pool of water. Yeah, but Makaru, I want to ask you something different from this. You think I'll answer? I'm serious here. I really have a question. But when you were in the art locker room, you asked me to show you my hand as soon as you left the locker, right? Why did you do that? I won't answer this. However, it's just simply simple safety. No matter what happened, the only thing that lived on is insurance. It's the minimal precaution that's needed. Insurance? The two of us aren't close enough to explain every phase to you, am I right? Well, don't worry. The Psycho Cop won't be able to serve you this time, so you should have an insurance at least. When you guys feel so clueless that you got no other way to go and in the verge of death, if Asper shows up in the trial, then I'll show up. I'll show you my last trump card. So please, make sure that doesn't happen. Makaru began to investigate Inori's body again, leaving only an empty silence in the end, the moment that she will no longer speak. At that time, Makaru had to make sure to give her my right hand. I took a look at my right hand, but there wasn't anything there. Is there something only Makaru knows? What's this? Oh yeah, what's this? A wooden stick-like object was floating on the water-filled science lab floor. Oh, that's right. When the science lab door did not open, it was because of this thing. But Makaru removed to open the door. When we found Inori's body, we had a hard time because the door of the science lab could not be opened, but it seemed that the killer used its object to block the door. I picked it up and checked it close. It was an ordinary wooden stick, but it was very thick, so it would be natural if the sliding door was blocked with something like this. When I looked at the back of the door, I saw space where the wooden board could fit in. It's as if it's closed while standing behind the door, then the closed room scenario would be naturally complete. Well, however, what was the reason for the killer to make a closed room? A reason to lock the door. I'll keep it in mind. Oh god, here we go. Jesus Christ, man. I was thinking Nori's body sinking in the water. It seemed like she was in tears. We investigate the bodies of some of our dead friends with no time to grieve. However, without investigation, the killer has to be identified. In order to survive the class trial, I must investigate. For now, I decided to look at the body of Inori, based on what was written in the Makuma file. Inori's body was so terrible that you couldn't see it with your eyes open. But for now, all of her clothes and skin were burnt. Her whole body was filled with several layers of box tape. Her hands were tied with rope and hung from the table. Inori, in the state of being unable to move, suffered terrible pain and died. Damn it. I can't do investigating while my swearing reached hollow ears. The tools that were used on Inori, I remember seeing box tape and rope in the art room. It seemed for whatever reason the art room is the place related to the incident. Other than that, I can only think of the fact of the faucet where she tied to, same table, and there are many miscellaneous tools around us. Do they have anything to do with the case? The box tape was tightly attached in her soldier 5 layers. Even a strong adult man would make it impossible to tear it off with their own strength. And also, it must have been even harder for Nori, who was small in size, to move. Is there any reason to tie Nori to this extent? Is this the killer's idea? Would that be it? Looking at it that way, Nori had always been in the infirmary after it was open. Maybe there's a clue in that place too. Oh, don't worry. I'll have the wits get and check that first. The art room. Who's in here? Haru? Ah, Natsuki. Hiya, Yuki. The hallway's the water bath, and the art room is full of bloody lockers. Why'd everything so bad? Seems the culprit this time planned the crime by going from place to place. That's a very intelligent killer. I wonder if Satsuki can win against such a mighty opponent. I'm a little worried. What does a trash can have to do with anything? Oh, there's a fast forward feature? Oh shit, I never realized. Huh? I wonder if there might be something here too. And I inadvertently looked at the trash can and I was surprised to find something. It was tissue paper, but looking closely, it looked like a type of cloth. I took out the identified piece of cloth from the trash and opened it. Let's see. Are these clothes? No, it's not just clothes. This is... no way. Yes, they were indeed blood-soaked. That was difficult to recognize the original color, but pure white color that looked at a glance reminded me that it was originally white gown worn by doctors. This is Anori's? This white coat is what Anori was wearing. When I think about it, Anori's body that I saw in the science lab was not wearing a white coat. I think I would find it in such an unexpected place. No, in fact, it may not be so unexpected. The place where the corpses were found are the science lab and the library, but the art room is pretty close to the area of the incident. The locker where Makaru would found it the same, his white coat. It seemed the blood from the coat had been there for some time, and didn't feel wet at all. The question is, where did the killer use this white coat? For starters, Anori didn't seem to have any bleeding, so maybe it was used while killing Yamaguchi? No, it can't be. Too dry to be from Yamaguchi's blood. So, it would be an important clue, so I was able to make a new discovery while investigating every corner of the white coat. What the fuck is that? The pocket of the white coat, I found a crumpled plastic wrap, but when I opened it carefully, I could see that it was bloodstained. The locker, library floor, white coat, and this? There are too many blood-related clues. What even happened here? Also, when I took a look closely, the plastic wrap had a small round hole in the middle, but the meaning was unknown. I guess I'll have to talk about it in the trial. It's possible it would use to prevent blood, but having a plastic for the sake of... would it have anything to do with the clues we found? The fuck does the weapon have to do with anything? Huh? This plastic weapon, what was it originally here? I thought it was against the plaster on the right. I didn't come to the art room too often, so I'm not sure about this. I don't know, it's probably just an illusion. The moment I tried to make judgment and move my set, I saw the red spot. This spear. This blood? It wasn't very noticeable, but there was a circular red dot on the tip of the long blade. I picked up the spear and smelt the part. A faint but fishy smell. This is blood! Then the weapon that killed Yamaguchi was something long and sharp. If it's long, this might be the murder weapon. Dude, how sharp is that thing? What the hell? Was it always here? After using to kill Yamaguchi, it was returned back to the same place where it originally was, but the location was different because the killer got mistaken? Looking at the blood on it, must be something related to the case somehow. You're telling me the killer brought this big ass thing down the stairs, killed Yamaguchi, then brought this shit back up? Huh? Looking at the blood on it, must be someone related to the case somehow. Why is the blood so tiny sized and in circular splatter? So tiny that I almost missed it. Did it make a small bounce from this? No. I would have not caused blood to spatter in the first place. I don't think I can figure it out yet. Alright, well. The locker room that contained miscellaneous art tools, but now inside it covered blood in a terrible condition. The car was bound like this in this bloody locker. At that time, Makaru's arms and legs were tied with tape, and her mouth was taped as well. She was locked from the outside and hit the door of the locker from the inside to try to get out. The result was a rumbling sound that echoed in the second floor. And the killer did all this, right? Apparently the culprit trapped her here for some reason. Otherwise, if you did all this yourself, it would only create more suspicion. Not only Makaru, Takano Ihara and Kinjo must have had their reasons as well. But the big issue is this bloody locker. Think about it, Yamaguchi and Nori's body don't seem to be related to the art room. However, what does the blood in the locker suggest? No matter who it's from, it's pretty difficult not to miss it. The body is also dried. Nori didn't seem to have any bleeding. Yamaguchi instead had too much bleeding. He died not too long ago, and Makaru was also tied here, but she was not bleeding. If that's the case, it could be Kinjo's blood, my guess, but Kinjo got hit in the head. This amount comes from his head. Wouldn't he have died? Blood identity is troublesome in more ways than one. Is this where the blood packs would use? I have no choice but to discuss it at the class trial. Oh, we got all the hints. I think we're almost done by now. The culprit is still a mystery. Damn it. Maybe some more investigation required. Monkuma hasn't called yet, so let's continue. Oh shit, he's alive. Kinjo, you're awake. Maeda. Are you okay? What about your bandages? It wasn't a thin wound from what I heard. Now is not the time to bother about that. Maeda, did a murder happen? Yeah, just a while ago. The class trial will begin soon. Kinjo, I'm glad you woke up. I'm sorry, but I don't have time to relax. I have to see the scene of the case before the trial starts. Maeda, did you do some research? Do you know where the scene is? Ah, yeah, you just search for the library, science lab, the art room, and the infirmary. Okay, thanks. Kinjo, wait a minute. What's wrong? I'm sorry, but like I said before, I don't have much time right now. If I go to the trial without knowing what the case is, it's over. I'll talk to you later. But what I'm trying to ask you right now is related to the investigation. It's okay if it's simple right now, so please answer me. How the hell did you pass out? I saw a bloody Yamaguchi. Eh? I saw blood coming from the library, so I went to investigate. Yamaguchi was collapsed on the floor in blood. No matter how much I see corpses, I couldn't hide my surprise. Taking that little pause after chance, someone attacked me from behind. I don't have much memory after that. Wait, we're talking about yesterday at nighttime, right? Yeah? What I mean is, Yamaguchi was lying on the floor all bloody since yesterday at night? Correct. If you walk around the scene right away, you'll notice it, so Yamaguchi is dead, right? Yeah. Not only Yamaguchi, Inori also died. What? Inori too? Thorpe in this case is not a simple person. Your highness mind that killed 2 people in a single day. This damn asshole. I'll definitely cast his being and punish them. Just go and do some more research for that too. So I'll leave now, Maeda. Oh, because they used the blood pack to simulate like the murder just happened. In reality, it happened since last night. See, that's why the question I asked yesterday was like 8:30 at 8:30 today or 8:30 like last night. Okay, actually a good thing though. Kinjo managed to wake up, but will he be okay? Time is already... Alright, and what Kinjo said was somewhat weird. He mentioned they saw Yamaguchi collapse, but Yamaguchi time death it around morning hours. So was he unconscious until the killer showed up again? Bloodied and abandoned until the morning after? No miracle like Tomori didn't happen twice. Still, what Kinjo has said would be a clue to something, so it's good to put that into notice. The more I investigated, the more the mystery seemed to get deeper. Fucking all he got time to was to go to the library. Now it's, hey you guys, I'm sorry that you had to work so hard in your research. However, Rakuma here is impatient, so why don't we just solve this together? That said, the class trial will now begin. We got her up at the red carpet door on the first floor as usual. What kind of result will be waiting for us in this trial? Isn't it exciting? Isn't it thrilling? I'll be waiting. Time's up, but what about Kinjo? Started investigating, but now that they're already gathering, it was a big informant that he was lying down because he passed out. Even without Kinjo's help, we'll have to work together. Even if I think about it, I haven't even figured out the crime scene properly yet. Damn it! It won't make a difference if I stay here. If I'm late, I'll get punished. Let's just go. This for my cinnamon roll. Whoever did it, one of you guys, you're gonna have. I'm gonna be clapping during your execution. Upon entering the entrance of the court, most of the guys already gathered. Maeda, you're here. Are you the last one? Then did Kinjo never manage to open his eyes? What do you mean? Kinjo isn't here? What are you talking about? Did Kinjo wake up? I met up with Kinjo just before I got here. Is that true? Thank goodness Kinjo woke up. But I can't see him. It's a matter of blame to not have a class trial without properly investigating his own personally. However, it's time for a meeting, but he's late because he wants to investigate as much as possible, and that's so. That's so Kinjo indeed. No way, but what if Kinjo's the culprit in this case? What is this nonsense deja vu again? Haruya, are you just saying that because they're late? Think about it and tell me. Why not? It could happen, right? What? Kinjo can be the culprit? Would it be more fun then? Sekuka finally goes to murder with her own hands? Makaru agreed with my opinion for once, so it wouldn't be strange if the universe explodes. Strangely, it's more scary when Makaru says it. What do you enjoy so much about this, Makaru? Did you forget, in this class trial, you could die too? I had hoped that you'd change at least a little, but you're still the same as ever. Because I know the killer, and the trick even before going to the trial, all that's left is watch you shovel their graves, right? Huh? You already know who the killer is? Who is it? Why should I tell you? Idiots, don't worry. I'll watch you shoveling and struggling. I'm not sure if I should say this, but this is the first time I ever thought about wanting to hit a woman this much. By the way, where's Kinjo? He's late. Alright, have you all gathered? Good then, let's start. As always, just take the elevator to go down. The trial design has been remodeled, so look forward to it. But Kinjo is not here. Huh? Kinjo's not here. Kinjo-kun was given a special time bonus due to his fainting condition. That's what I want to say, but since he woke up and started investigating the case, I assume that they're going to participate in the class trial. Wasn't my mistake. He won't get punished. I'll bring him here shortly. In supersonic speed! And it's in a flash. You hurry your ass up here, Kinjo. Hut, hut, hut. Hey, what kind of supersonic speed is this? No, it's just that when I was about to search for him, he was already at the door. Kinjo, sure it's obedient. You came and I didn't even need to call you. Shut up and disappear before my eyes already. Kinjo, are you okay? Well, I did as much investigation as possible compared to the previous cases. The amount of information is extremely insufficient, but... No, I asked if you were okay since you got hurt. Oh, you mean my body? Well, it's fine. I've experienced this much injuries, even once or twice with a snatcher. Hey, it's been a long time hasn't it, Kinjo? I didn't expect to see you bleeding and fainting. Thank you for getting something. I'm a human being too, so I got caught off guard. Wow. Did you get a little fed up with us, Kinjo? Certainly last time you left the dining room, I thought you were breaking our bonds or something like that. Of course I did that. That still hasn't changed, but in the conditional situation of the class trial, your charge of being preliminary criminals are revoked for the time being. The criminal analogy is that the more important manpower there is, the better, and because the murder has occurred, the rest of the criminals other than the criminal of the sentence are simply ordinary citizens in this scenario. Kobayashi was making a list of swearing words to give a double bad comeback to Kinjo once he woke up. What? Hey, I never did that! Do whatever you'd like. It's a temporary truce anyway. After the trial, you'll become a preliminary criminal once more. Of course, Akane's an exception. I'm always thinking of you as a semi-criminal. What the fuck does that mean? Semi-criminal? One that committed attempted murder. So don't even think you're innocent, Lily. But Kinjo, man, you didn't even self-defense. You got attacked first. You didn't even try to kill her like on purpose or at all. If anything, somebody just fell on her own blade, literally. Korea guy starts having seizures again. Akane, don't bother with what that waste of a man said. When Maki died, we were thoroughly fighting with each other. It's a difficult class trial ever, if we have to work together. Something gave me an odd feeling, like this would be an even harder class trial than any other I face. Enough talking. Anyways, we're starting the trial, right? Let's get on with it already. Indeed. First thing we must do now is solve what's in front of us. It's not good for everyone to be on edge like this early. Yeah, Makaru and Haru are right. If we do not pass the class trial first, we will all die. Relationship with the other, conflict with Kinjo. There are many problems ahead. I want to solve them, but first the biggest one. Let's begin our class trial. If we don't take care of it, nothing will change in the end. Alright, pre-class trial talk. What now? Go down there already. There's something dangerous about this case, and it seems that it'll be a more complex trial than before, beyond your guard. No way, I think the number of people is a bit shorter. Yeah, no. Oh, the only thing left is to do this, right? When did we all start disappearing like this? I investigated as much as I could. The only thing left to do is deduct the results from yours. Damn it! Killing 2 people at once? It's the worst. It's the worst feeling ever. Coming here again and again. Now just smelling this place, it seems more disgusting. Oh, it's insane for the most part after Ame-chan was executed, so I couldn't talk much to those two. I'm so sorry, Ana-chan. I'm really sorry, Yamaguchi-kun. Well, there's nothing left now to say. Let's go down. I'll open the door. Like always, the elevator was making a loud noise and goes underground. The inside of the elevator was filled with 9 people left. So quiet during this time. There are also fewer people now. It's because the relationship between us has worsened in the first and second trials. Me in particular, trying to make eye contact with some of them, with the Kincho and Mikaru. Sorry, a lot of things are happening in my house, but let's wrap up this episode so we can get on with the most or half the class trial on the next one. Where were we? I wonder if we will really be able to try this time. God damn, would we land with an atom brick to the bottom floor? God damn. The elevator stopped with a shake that we seem to be getting used to by now. I haven't. Whoa, this is a surprise right in front of me, embarrassing. Didn't you learn in kindergarten to think about the people who get off on an elevator? Monokuma has been doing this once or twice already though. It's hard to react anymore. Why is he not saying anything? Has he been turned off? Yo, why is Monokuma like this? Like it's a new act. Hey, how long are you planning on doing that? We have to do a class trial. Are you going to move? Hello? Something seems different than usual here. Kurikawa? Touching that thing won't do any good. Huh? What's wrong, Mikado-chan? Kurikawa was suddenly stunned. At first, she thought Monokuma was pulling a prank, but she noticed the mood was different than usual. And then... Ah, yeah! Eek! I'm alive, I live. He thought I was dead. When Kurikawa touched it, Monokuma suddenly began to make a loud noise. What the hell are you doing? Are you kidding around? Don't do that again. All of a sudden, my rack was stuck. I was surprised too. Rack? Boo boo, no big deal. Did you all come down here in the meantime? Well done. Rack with the killer female. And shall we start right away? It looks like you're trying to rush something here. By the way, wasn't Kurikawa scream cute? Let's just move on. No, Inori. Alright, it's time for what everyone's been waiting for. The class trial is back. Well, of course I knew this would happen. Nobody waited for this. Whatevs. Even if it's not you, there's another person who was waiting for this. Anyways, this will be the third class trial. Your own relationship has been paying attention to the trend of the nerves. Seems to be on the sake of lockdown. As if it were breaking. Shut up. I don't care about that. Don't bring up stupid stuff and start already. Oh boy, tough attitude. I see. I was gonna start anyway. Now then, shall we go on with more work? A extreme trial. The class trial that crossed behind life or death. Goddamn, I just realized. Why are the 2 victims right next to me? There goes my left hand, like, classmate, and my right hand classmate. The third one. The moment Monokuma said that, I suddenly felt disoriented. Even when you think that 2 victims and 2 corporate died, 4 friends were already gone. In addition to the victims of the incident, so a total of 6 friends have left our group. Okay, can we like stop going back to that? It's horrifying. One of the victims this time was Inori. After the infirmary was open. Yo, why do you bring a banger music in case 3? She didn't know when someone would get hurt, so she spent most of her days in that room. Dude, okay, that means that's starting to creep me out. Can we get her body off the screen, please? A child with the most angelic heart I've known, who worried about us, our health, our happiness. Inori was that kind of person, true and true. The reason she died was because her whole body became as black as charcoal. Her whole body was tied up and unable to move. Someone had done such a terrible thing is among us. Please. Okay, thank you. Thank God we got... Like, I know this isn't any better, but like, Jesus Christ, man. I don't want to see Inori charred up corpse. He also killed Yamaguchi and committed ruthless acts. The culprit. Also, Yamaguchi was timid and behaved inappropriately due to his side. At an important time, he mediates the situation like a lawyer should, and we laughed together. For a lawyer, he was really useless for his last trial most of the part. But then he was killed with a neck wound so severe it was nearly amputated in cold blood. Yamaguchi was no longer with us. A trial to uncover the killer begins now. A trial in order to live. A lie in order to live. A betrayal in order to live. Elaborating their wills to live. Or an excuse to kill. Using trust at the risk of a life. Risking our lives in this class trial. Yo, why are they bringing out banger music right now for this class trial? Dude, the banger, dude. The music has been a banger in this episode, in this class trial. But you know, speaking of banger, unfortunately, we're gonna leave off the banger classroom trial for the next episode. So, thank you guys for watching again, and until the next episode, I will see you guys later. Peace.